Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. A rainy, rather thundery, stormy Friday, late afternoon, early evening as I am doing this, and our theme for the day is alleged past Parkle shadiness, alleged shadiness that might be being exposed. And we looked at the visa situation in the previous reading. Now we're going to be looking at the photo situation, because what goes around comes around. And of course we all know that poor old Catherine, the Princess of Wales, got enough on her plate with and then suddenly found herself in the middle of a photoshopping scandal. Her photo of herself and the children, and then the one of the Queen and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. That one also picked apart, and a KILL notice put on that one as well. And there was much rejoicing and schadenfreude coming from California until fingers started to be pointed at some of the Parkle's own photographs. And not some of the most dodgy, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions. Just some rather curious inconsistencies in some of their photos. And of course, the one that everyone is talking about is the one with the tree in the background. Meghan, heavily pregnant, lying with the has-been. The has-been's giant dirty foot is really the... I don't know, because I'm not a photographer, but the focal point, say, sorry if that's the wrong word. All eyes immediately drawn to the giant dirty foot. And then the bump and Archie lying somewhat, I don't know, on that bump. But anyway, that photo is the subject of some scrutiny and some discussion, because there are some people who say that Misson himself said that he imported that tree into the photo for sort of artistic license. The photo that he took remotely with his iPad during lockdown. And there is another one that is the subject of scrutiny now because of the Sidley twins on YouTube. They have a channel where they talk about all kinds of things, and some of those things are royal related things. And their father, for those of you who haven't watched the YouTube video in question, their father is a photographer, a professional photographer. He's worked in the field for 50 years. He is especially experienced in digital alteration of photographs. He is an expert witness. He has served as an expert witness in many court cases in the United States. He knows absolutely nothing about Harry and Meghan, or indeed Miss and Harryman. The girls just asked him to comment on those two particular photos, and he very quickly pointed out some quite minor things. He didn't go for the big stuff. He just pointed out some minor tells that, as far as he was concerned, in his opinion, showed that those photos had been altered, manipulated, digitally photoshopped, just like Catherine's photos. And of course, the Miss and Harryman got in very angry, threatening to take down their YouTube channel. After some hours, produced the raw files, for alleged raw files for those photos. He's very, very, very angry about this. He's really clapping back as hard and as fast as he can. So I'm going to do a look at this with a Celtic cross with the Urban Tarot. I'm just going to look at the energy around this and see what's going on. Sorry, it's got extremely dark as I am starting this reading because of the storm that's hovering around. It's just suddenly got pitch black, and I hope you can still see. And I don't want to stop now and start fiddling around with lights. I'm getting to that time of year when I'm going to have to start with the actual ring light again. I've been using natural light for the last many months, in fact. So apologies if things suddenly go dark here. But interesting. It's interesting that the Parkles are now being called out. and subject to scrutiny. It's also interesting that Meghan apparently has called in a professional photographer, Jake Rosenberg, old mate from Toronto, to take professional photos of Archie and Lilibet. She is not using Miss and Harriman anymore for photographs. Of course, there are other photos that he has taken that are much more controversial. Lilibet's first birthday photo, for instance, the birthday party, the cake, all of that. So what's going on? Celtic cross coming up. From his point of view, going to see what's going on and whether he's perhaps been dumped by Meghan, whether she's going to do what she did to Jessica Maroney when things got tough there. Jessica got shoved right under a bus. So that's what we're going to have a look at today, and let's remind you, very important, because they are scurrying as the ship goes down, those rats, using a metaphor, of course, that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all speculation. It is all my opinion. I'm just reading energy here on this channel. Let's put those back in. And of course it is archetypal energy, because we like to read archetypal, because we're energy, because we are dealing with the royal family, which is the archetypal family, and which is a word that Meghan herself is tremendously fond of. And disclaimer in the box below, please read the disclaimer and form your own opinions about what is going on. Very long cards, completely the wrong cards to use for a Celtic cross in this rather awkward space. Be much easier to film these sideways, but then you can't really see the cards upright. So this is why we do what we do, and we try and do it as best we can. We've got the Ace of Discs here. That's a very big money card, the Ace of Discs, which is interesting that should decide to come out, because of course there is money in this, tons of money. Copyrights, licensing of these photographs, its career, its status. This is a new path. He only picked up a camera, interestingly, in 2017, apparently, according to the internet sleuths, around the time that Harry and Meghan got rather intimate, shall we say. I think that was actually earlier than that, but never mind. Not the topic of the day. A new profession, a lucrative new profession for him, and he's now turned his hand to movie making and was nominated for an Oscar. Didn't win, but he was there at the Oscars having a fine old time. So this is a new profession for him. It's very important for him that this stays Ace of Discs upright and doesn't descend into Ace of Discs in reverse. So hence the need to clap back and threaten and prove, allegedly through the files that he has provided to the Sidley twins and their father, that there was no alteration of these photos. That is all, for me, the energy that is coming through intuitively through the Ace of Discs. Situation we're reading from the photographer's point of view. And we have the Sun in reverse. How very interesting. The Sun is about children, as you can see in that card. And he, of course, was given the very important function of taking photos of Parkle children when they were allegedly at Frogmore Cottage, having birthday parties and visiting the Queen and all of that. He was the go-to person photographing children. Not anymore. Jake Rosenberg is now the go-to person. Interestingly, the Sun is about illumination, is about spotlight on. It's literally about light. And the first thing that caught our expert witness's eye was light in eyes, and how they revealed manipulation in his opinion. So there we have it. We have a card about illumination and desire for things to stay hidden, because the card is in reverse. And of course, in my opinion, what is the big problem for the photographer in question? Don't want to keep saying the name over and over. And we have, it's the Six of Wands, but it's in reverse, a victory. Victory in reverse, which is defeat. That this might really really ruin his big moment. And he's had his big moment at the Oscars and been very much in the limelight. I think he's even done Vogue cover, as far as I can recall, for what's his name, Edward Enninful, before he was ousted. And so Six of Wands is also a card about narcissism and ego. So ego can be a downfall when the Six of Wands is in reverse. So the desire to show off, the desire to have everyone talk about you and brag and look how clever I am and I'm so brilliant, can turn out to be a bit of a weakness, ultimately a bit of a downfall moment, even, you could say. So we have an interesting center of this Celtic cross issue and problem challenge, that this might lead to some humiliation even with that Six of Wands in reverse. So what's going on behind the scenes? What is being hidden, covered up? Possibly. A lot of speculation. So is there anything being hidden, or is everything on the up and up? And we have, it's the Ten of Swords in the reverse in this reading. I find this very hard tarot deck to read because it's got weird keywords, and the swords and the wands look the same to me, I have to say. But I am thinking that that is the Ten of Swords. I'm going to just check. No, I was wrong, and apologies for that. It is the Ten of Wands, wands and wands. You can see it's just got so dark. The camera is putting a lot more light onto this scenario than I'm dealing with. I'm in a complete fog at the moment. It is the Ten of Wands, and the key word on this card, which I can barely see, is oppression. That is the Ten of Wands in this tarot deck. Ten of Wands is a situation that has got overwhelming, oppressive, and it's a prison, as you can see in the card, and a sentence almost that is intolerable, and the person that is the subject of this sentence, this oppression, this burden. In traditional tarot, it would be a burden, the Ten of Wands, someone literally carrying 10 wands, a very heavy burden on their own. Well, it's in reverse, don't want to carry this burden anymore. This is something, and because I'm reading his energy in this Celtic cross, this is his energy. He feels that this is oppressive, that he really doesn't want to be involved in this situation. That is the energy that's coming through for me, that he might have got himself into a situation out of pride and ego and the desire to make lots of money. And I think there were quite a few that were in that gang, Omid, the rest of them. Oh, we can make some money out of this. And it's normal if a friend suddenly marries a prince. The rest in the friend gang might think, there's an opportunity for me there. Jessica Mulrooney certainly thought so. I think quite a lot of that gang, that old Soho House gang, thought, hey, we can benefit. We can ride those coattails and also make a ton of money. Ace of Discs. But I think that he's got himself into a situation that he now would really like to get himself out of, with that Ten of Wands in reverse. And that, of course, is just my opinion. The goal right now, his focus right now. And his focus, and again, I cannot see a thing, and it's a Two of Wands, and that's Dominion, Dominion, Two of Wands, and I'm going to pause and put a light on. And wow, what a difference some light makes. I can now see clearly again. The sun is no longer reversed in my life. It's still reversed in this tarot reading, and the goal in this reading is the Two of Wands in reverse. And the Two of Wands is about partnerships, plans, and this is a partnership, a plan that is unraveling, that he sees unraveling. I'm beginning to get, because I am an intuitive reader, I am empathetic, and I'm beginning to feel sorry for him. which wasn't my intention when I started this reading, but it is the energy that's coming through for me. I think somebody led by ego, led by desire to make some money out of a situation, might have got himself into a rather sticky situation and now sees that it's all unraveling, it's all falling apart, and he might realize, because he's seen it happen to other people, that he could be sacrificed, thrown under a bus, like has happened before to other people. That is the energy that's coming through for me. So let's look at past energy, what's been going on in the past with all of these things. It's the Six of Cups. It's called pleasure. It's old friends. It's hanging out. It's having a good time. It's people you trust. Happy memories from the past. I don't think it has to be quite as erotic as it's shown in this particular tarot deck. It's certainly the gang, and I've been talking about the old gang from wherever. Was it Soho House? Probably. And the happy times and the fun times and the birthday parties, and more latterly with the kids and the whatever, if those happened, we're not quite sure. But the good old days, that's the Six of Cups, when it was all going so well and all those happy memories were being made and everything was wonderful. What is coming next for him? We have the activist. It's the Princess of Swords. That is his determination to clap back, to save his reputation. That is watching stuff on YouTube, doing research. That is seeing who's saying what, finding out stuff, following people, listening to people, being braced, being prepared, arming himself, getting ready, because the princess is traditionally the Page of Swords, would lead to the Knight of Swords, who's the person who then charges in and takes action. There have been threats already from him. It will probably escalate in coming days, and he's certainly going to be quite aggressive in this, in trying to salvage his reputation. That's the Six of Wands there, that's in reverse at the moment, and to fight back and to get people shut down, silenced, get stuff taken down, all of that kind of stuff that is going on in his coming days, near future. So how's it going with Megan? Is he going to have to fight this battle on his own? Which is 10 of Wands in reverse that I struggled to read in the dark, told me. Is he going to be left alone to fight this? Or is she going to back him up? And I've been waiting for this card to show up. I actually thought it was that card in the dark. And that's why I switched the light on, so I could see clearly. Three of Swords, Three of Sorrows. The energy of this reading, because as I say, this Page of Swords tells me that he's going to be really quite aggressive in going after people on social media. But for me, as a tarot reader, looking at the Three of Swords, which is a card that has turned up in a tarot reading, tells me he is going to be fighting this battle on his own. He's going to be feeling, in my opinion, betrayed. It's a very, very difficult card, the Three of Swords. Card of heartache, betrayal, the energy moving from that Six of Cups. And I don't mean to insinuate anything erotic in that Six of Cups at all. I have to make that very clear. I'm not alleging anything there at all. I'm just taking that energy, traditional Rider-Waite Six of Cups, which is old friends, happy days, memories from the past, innocent play kind of memories. I need to make that very clear. I'm not insinuating anything. It's unfortunate artwork in this tarot deck. But this Three of Swords, the energy has moved from that happy memories to current heartache, betrayal, shock, grief even, from the situation that he might be finding himself in. And again, I have to say that this is my interpretation of the energy. What pressure is he under? And we have the kindergarten teacher, the Princess of Discs in reverse. Page of Discs normally is contracts, money, deals, expertise. Also, it's a student card. That's why we have the kindergarten teacher on this card. It's about the student. It's about the journey through life. You start off as a novice and you learn your skills and you gain expertise. And as I said, when I saw this Ace of Discs, this is a relatively recent pastime that he's taken up and has now turned into a profession. And he's worried that his professional reputation is now at risk. His ability to make money, to make deals, to be taken seriously, his credibility, all of that is coming through in this Princess of Discs for me as a reader. A lot of pressure for someone who's relying on this as a profession. So his hopes and fears, where are we going with this? And we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. He is very worried that he is going to be exposed and be very vulnerable, because the Seven of Wands is about standing up for yourself. It's about defending yourself, having high ground, and having the high ground, meaning that you are in the right when the card is upright, and you are under attack, as you can see in the depiction of the card, but you are able to push back and defend yourself, and the card is in the reverse. That tells me that he is very worried that he is not going to be able to defend himself. According to the Sidley twins, it took a lot of time, hours, for him to produce the so-called raw files, and there are a lot of people saying that they weren't raw files. I don't know anything about photography, and so unfortunately I cannot comment on any of this except to say what I am hearing and reading. So I have to say allegedly. And let's see the outcome for him. What is going to happen to him as a result of this problem? We have the Emperor in reverse. That doesn't bode well for him in terms of his status, his authority, his power and his dominance, because the Emperor is about control, is about authority and status, particularly as a male, a mature male energy, a leader in his field. And it's gone. We've started with the Page of Discs, the Princess of Discs, the student, the pupil, the learner, and we've gone to Emperor, the authority, the go-to person, the person who knows everything, does everything, everyone listens to. It's in reverse. So his status is under real threat, and it could go. Despite this pushback that's coming, that's already underway, as the Sidley twins know, our ultimate outcome for him is very unpleasant, very uncomfortable. He really, according to these cards, and they are just tarot cards, and this is just my opinion, but according to what I'm reading here on this tarot table, he could be in very serious trouble. That is your reading. Apologies for the fumbling in the dark through some of it. And thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.